influencing popular culture, politics, and everything in between. The local station takes you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside with the local station.
Hello there, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Scott Johnson, for another episode of Going Ringside. So excited for our guest today, one of the top female wrestlers in the world right now. Naomi is going to be joining us shortly to talk about what's going on with her in the lead up to WrestleMania. And of course, they're coming to do SmackDown here where we're located in Jacksonville, Florida on May 17th. We're going to talk to her all about that. She's involved in some big stuff right now. Before we get to that, I want to encourage you to go back in the archives, look at some of our recent episodes. Very good stuff on Brutus the Barber Beefcake. If you're an old school WWF fan, we kind of did 3 in a row. We did one on Andre the Giant in his final days. We had Brutus the Barber Beefcake join us on the show. And then we had the biggest collection of Macho Man impersonators ever in the history of the media join us all for one interview. You want to go back and check out those. If you're an old school fan like me, you don't want to miss it. Go take a look at them right now. And if you are a fan of the current product, we're as current as it can get because Naomi is joining us today. We're excited to be contacted by WWE and have a chance to talk to Naomi by phone here. Naomi, of course, one of the greatest female wrestlers on the planet right now, has been developing for so many years now, and recently returned to WWE at Royal Rumble earlier this year to be one of the longest entrants ever in the history of the Rumble. And I was so excited to talk to her about that because we've seen people like that over the years. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels did it. I think Rey Mysterio did it. A lot have done it. Naomi is now in that exclusive club, someone who spent so much time in the match, which I always wondered, how exhausting is that? To be in there for so long, to fight nonstop over and over and over again. Of course, we also talked to her about kind of what she's involved with right now. We're seeing her, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill, the newest big name to come into WWE, kind of teaming up against Damage Control is what it looks like going into Mania. Obviously, it's something we're going to be watching. I wanted to ask her about her husband, Jimmy Uso, and some of that bloodline drama that she has to be a part of when the cameras are off, because she's, married to Jimmy in the middle of all of it. And she talks a little about getting into it. And I remember when she was one of the Funkadactyls with Tyrus, who was Brodus Clay back in the day, and they were the backup dancers, and how she morphed from being one of the top backup dancers to one of the greatest wrestlers, to a SmackDown champion for a long time. And her decision to come back after being away for a few years from the company, with that big return, she is one of the hottest products in WWE right now. So let's get to it. Here's our interview with WWE superstar, Naomi. Well, we are here with WWE superstar Naomi. Naomi, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Naomi, you've gone through an incredible career transformation in the last few months. The big return to WWE. What has that been like for you?
Oh man, it's been a roller coaster ride, but it's been a great journey, and I'm extremely excited and happy to be back and just working my way back to the top.
You were doing so much. What went into your decision to return to WWE? Can you walk me through that decision?
WWE is home. It was never a doubt about returning. It was just a matter of when, and me wanting to prove some things and do some things that I needed to do for myself, and I did that. I accomplished that, and it was just time. I missed it so much, and WWE is always family.
And you came in, I believe, at Royal Rumble. Is that right? Was that when
Yes,
you?
sir.
What was that like? I mean, you were in it a long, long time, if I remember.
Yeah, it was one of the longest times being in the Rumble, and it just felt really good to return and to be received by that live audience. And it's scary because I have been gone for almost 2 years, so You're not sure if how you're going to be received. You're going to get cheered or booed, especially with the way that I left. So it was very nerve-wracking, but it felt really good to receive all that positive energy and get the chant of welcome back. And I've been on a roll ever since. So one of the greatest nights ever.
I've been wondering about those long-term people in Rumbles. I mean, we've seen it with Ric Flair, Rey Mysterio, Shawn Michaels. A lot of the people have done it. You're now one of the greats who has done it for so long. Is that physically exhausting to be in that long?
It really is.
Really?
It really is, and there's no real way to really prepare because you don't know who's coming out, There's so much incredibly fit and new talent now. So and it was something.
And you mentioned
a challenge, but I got through it, and it was an incredible night.
You mentioned fit new talent, and I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe one of the new talents that you saw in that Rumble was Jade Cargill. Can you talk to me about her addition and any thoughts there? Because I'm sure that you probably will come across her again here in coming weeks.
Oh yeah, I am a big supporter of Jade. I actually linked up with Jade before she came to WWE and just fell in love with her. I think she's super talented. She's an incredible athlete, and I think she is going to be a huge star and accomplish great things here in the WWE. And I'm just excited to watch her journey. We'll see where she and I fall in at together, but I hope it's definitely with her and not against her, because she is one strong specimen.
She was physically strong. You could feel that in the Rumble.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
It is the busy season for you right now. We are going into maybe the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Are you, packed? Is your schedule nonstop? And what's going for you in the Royal Rumble? WrestleMania. I know you've been kind of dealing with damage control a little. Where are you at right now going into Mania?
Exactly. You know what? It's been crazy since I've returned, because I literally have not stopped. And I kind of got myself into some mess with damage control and trying to protect and look out for Bayley. And her and Bianca are going through it in our interviews because of things that have happened over the last 2 years, which I wasn't really familiar with. So now I kind of got myself in a pickle. And it's just been a battle each week trying to take on damage control, because they're picking us off one by one. So we need to find a solution to that, to take on those girls, because they're trouble.
What's this like? You've been out of it 2 years, and then all of a sudden you're thrown in the middle of this drama, and everyone else seems to, have been in the middle of it all this time. Has that been weird for you to be in the middle of all this?
Very weird. And I'm finding out a little bit more, week by week of all this stuff that's been happening and going on. But I'm in it now, so there's only one thing to do, and that's to finish it.
And as far as post-Mania, do you have any idea what's coming? Because we're going to see you in Jacksonville at a SmackDown here in May that we're looking forward to. Do you have any idea what the year brings for you post-WrestleMania yet, or is it kind of a wait and see at this point?
Yeah, it's a wait and see. I wish I knew, but it's week by week. The card is always subject to change, and there's you never know what's gonna happen in the world of WWE.
Well, and
we'll see where I am by then.
Yeah, in the world of WWE,
control, and can get back into that title picture somehow.
Absolutely. Do you want to be in the title picture?
Absolutely. But the division and locker room has changed so much since I've returned. So I kind of, in a weird way, feel like I don't feel like I'm starting over, but I do. You know what I mean?
What do you mean it's changed? Talk to me about that change in the locker room that you've seen.
There's a lot of new talent from NXT that's there now. A lot of the women that I was there with, the time that I left, when I was there, they aren't there anymore. A lot of my, girls that I've been with for the last 10 years. So we just seeing like a lot of fresh faces, a lot of new tag teams. And I'm just getting to know everybody and feel everybody out and see where I stand. So for me, it's kind of like starting over. There's just so much that happened in the 2 years, you know?
And as far as, going for title goes, do you think the women could use a mid-card title? Do you think that's needed?
I'm always pushing for more TV time, more talent for us, more titles. Absolutely.
You say more TV time. That's interesting. That brings me to something from several years ago, back during the Divas era. I think it was WrestleMania 29. The men go overtime. I believe you might have been cut at the time. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yep, WrestleMania 29.
Talk to me about that dynamic. What happened there?
And I were just recently talking about that this week. That us experiencing that together, and just how crazy and wild that was that happened, and for us to still be here and, fighting and pushing forward now. So I think also me coming from that Divas era, from my experience and my perspective, and seeing all the work from the women, how hard we fought for things, and just seeing where we are now, I know that it all wasn't in vain, and it's working. And I just hope we all continue to fight and show why our division and why the women on the show are so important, and continue to push and try to steal the show every night.
And talk to me about your evolution. I mean, you started with Cameron as a tag team. Now you're a top star in the company. I mean, what's that evolution been like for you?
It's been a very, very good journey for me. A lot of ups and downs, very hard at sometimes. I came in as a valet, but I always knew that I wanted more. I wanted to be a champion. I wanted to be respected in this business, and I wanted to be known as one of the most memorable stars in women in my era, and I feel like I'm still working towards that.
And I do want to ask about Jay. I mean, when we talk WWE, all the talk now is Bloodline. What's that like for him? He's in the middle of a lot of drama right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of family drama. Honestly, I hate it. It's family. That's my sweet brother-in-law. So I hope one day that the boys can get it together. But it's definitely breaking up the family. Jimmy and Jay's drama. So
I mean,
hopefully,
you
Mania, they can hash it out and squash this beef and get back together. That's what I hope. But who knows? We'll see.
And you say the beef, that's got to make family life hard, I assume.
Yeah, the barbecues are not the same.
I would imagine. How would you say WWE is different today than it was when you left? What are some changes? I mean, the company's gone through a big change, the merger with TKO. I mean, is it the same place? Does it still feel like home, or would you say it's a little different?
It still feels like home. I think the great thing about WWE is that it just keeps evolving. It keeps growing. It keeps getting better, and it adapts to the times. And I just think that's where we are now. But for me, it's definitely it just gets better.
And I always wonder how wrestlers are physically doing. You've been doing it so many years now. How's your body? How are injuries? How do you do day to day?
I think the key is just staying in shape, and staying physical and active. Injuries are injuries. They're gonna happen just because of what we do is not normal, not natural. It's not normal for our bodies to get banged up every day. But I definitely think staying in tip-top shape helps. But there's just certain things that every time you step in there that something could happen, because it's a risk every time you go in there.
And I was watching some.
Train. I think the NXT Performance Center is amazing, especially for the new talent. And I just think the protocols, the doctors we have, we're definitely have all the resources we need to stay at our best, you know.
And I was wondering, because I was watching some stuff in the archives, and correct me if I'm wrong, were you one of the Funkadelics? Is that right?
Funkadactyls. Yeah.
Funkadactyls, that's right, I'm sorry. What was that like when you came in as a Funkadactyl? I mean, that was just a totally different, you know, place that you were at that point. To get from there and then to transfer to, you know, main eventing. I mean, how did that happen? Was that hard to get out of that, you know, being in that niche as a kind of a dancer at that point?
It was, but at the same time, that was such a fun time, such a special time, and I always, you know, those years are so precious to me. I still have a great relationship with Broders and Cameron, and it was just a unique time. You don't realize how fast the time goes by, but oh man, I cherish those memories so much, and I learned so much, and I was taught so much being with those guys, and kind of being introduced to the main roster as a dancer and as a ballet, and it kind of gave me that fire in me to want to wrestle and want to do more.
Well, Naomi, we look
to do that, you know, and figure it out.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in Jacksonville in May for SmackDown. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Tickets are still available also at Ticketmaster, starting at $20. So hope to see you guys there.
$20. We'll get that out there. Tickets still available. Naomi, thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye, Scott.
So I want to thank Naomi for coming on and joining us. So excited to hear about her thoughts on where things are going in 2024, having Jade kind of come in alongside her. So it's kind of an exciting time for the female division in WWE right now as we look for her. And we're going to be having more WWE stars coming on in coming weeks. So we're looking forward to that. But was really excited to have a chance to chat by phone with Naomi about what is going on in her world with her and Jimmy right now, and kind of how things are going in WWE. On the local level, as you know, we're based in Jacksonville, and SmackDown will be here in Jacksonville on May the 12th. Tickets are still available, says Naomi. But we do have some smaller companies around here. One is a local company, Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling, DCCW. They are a friend of the show, local independent territory based out of Baker County, Florida, with some of the top indie workers in the Southeast coming to an event they have April 20th. And I wanted to get them on the show to talk a little about it. So we've had them on a few times, every time they got another show going on now, April 20th at the Baker County Fairgrounds. Here's my interview with Vanessa Pender. Vanessa kind of runs this DCCW along with her husband about if you want to go to a fun indie show out in Baker County in Northeast Florida. Here's all the details with DCCW. Let's get to it. Well, we're joined right now by Vanessa Pender, friend of the show. We've had him on multiple times with Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling, based in Baker County, Florida, DCCW. Thank you for coming on today. Talk to me about what you guys have going on.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Scott. We have our show coming up April 20th. It's called Unbroken. It's in McClenny, Florida, at the Baker County Fairgrounds inside venue. We've got all of our champions in the house for this show, which is very exciting. So we would love to invite everybody out to come on in and have a great time. We've got the Authority. Eddie Torres is coming in. He's our heavyweight champion. We also have our tag team champions that'll be in the house. That is going to be DWI. I know you spoke with Mr. Dylan Wheeler the other day.
Yeah, we did. He had him come on the show. Yep.
He's part of that group. We've got our women's champion, Lexi Gomez, in the house, and our national champion, Prince Handsome. So it's going to be a full card of superstars. It's going to be a blast.
How has DCCW been doing? We've been kind of chronicling you guys on the show here the last year or so. How have things been going for you guys out in Baker?
Really great. We have such a great fan base. We have people that really love what we're doing. So we've got a lot of excitement with every show that comes our way.
And what do people get? And we've talked about it before. Talk to me about, I mean, people who haven't gone to an indie show, they think of, going to Raw. They think of going to AEW. The indie experience is totally different. Talk to me about what an independent show offers that you don't get anywhere else.
Well, the special part about indie shows is that this is where it all happens. This is where all those guys and gals you see in Raw, on the WWE, in AEW, this is their stomping grounds. This is where they start. This is where they develop. And being at an indie show is special because you can get real up close and personal with each star before they even get on TV and take a picture with them and really, really know them before things blow up big for them. So it's a great opportunity for the fans to get nice and close, get pictures and autographs, and really make a connection with somebody that inspires them.
And you guys have a lot of families and kids that come to this, right?
Yes, it's a family-friendly affair. We make sure to keep it that way because we want the kids in the house to really be in a safe environment and to just really enjoy it, to be wowed.
So if a kid has dreams of growing up to become a wrestler and mom or dad are seeing this right now, is this maybe a good thing for them to come see what it's really all about, what you go through to become a pro wrestler?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My husband also runs a training center, part of DCW. So we are training the next.
Go ahead. You're training the next. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're training the next generation of wrestlers to be skilled and have all of their set skills in order and to just be really good people, to go out there and really shine. So it's an exciting opportunity for people that may have a dream of wrestling to really get a taste of what it would be to do the hard work and to learn what it is to be out there in that ring, taking those hits. It's not for the lighthearted.
And you listed some of the stars you have coming in. Tell me some of the bios of some of the top people you have coming in for this event.
Well, our heavyweight champion is Eddie Torres. This guy he's been all over the map. He has been in AEW, and he is a powerhouse in the indie scene. We're so excited to have him back. He holds many different championships. He holds our championship, our heavyweight championship. So getting him back into the house is very exciting for a lot of the fans. We also have Lexi Gomez, our girl, our women's champion. She's coming home to fight to keep her belt against T. Gaines, who's another powerhouse in the indie scene. So we're very excited to see all these young talents grow and evolve into the megastars that they're going to be.
And one more time for our viewers, the when, the where, the how, all that stuff.
Okay, so it's April 20th, Saturday. Doors open at 5:30. The show starts at 6:30. It's at the Baker County Fairgrounds inside venue. There are going to be superstars are going to be there with all of their tables set up. Food is for sale. We're going to have gifts and surprises, but definitely get there at 5:30 because we get long lines and we want you to get in and get a seat. And if you do want to get advanced tickets, you can call 904-697-7167 and I'll reserve your seats for you so you don't have to worry about missing out on front row seats.
Well, Vanessa Pender with Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling in Baker County, DCCW. Big event coming up. Thanks, Vanessa, for joining us again on the show today.
Thank you so much. Take care.
So I want to thank DCCW for coming on the show today and telling us all about what they have going on April 20th at the Baker County Fairgrounds. And, of course, SmackDown coming May 12th to Jacksonville. Don't miss it. As Naomi said, tickets are available. Really appreciate Naomi taking some time out to speak with me by phone and come on the show today. And, of course, we're going to have some more WWE stars in the next few weeks, so we're looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of Going Ringside. We'll see you back here next time.
This has been Going Ringside with The Local Station, brought to you every Wednesday on your favorite podcast player, on News4 Jax Plus, as well as the News4 Jax YouTube channel.